How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Ternowski. It's going to be a fun one. Today, we welcome JT and Alex from the SoCal band SUNBURNT. Friends, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys were saying before we started the show that you guys are in like LA? Is that where you're based out of right now, or like is that where you guys hail from? Where is SoCal for you?
We're downtown SoCal because um I'm from Long Beach specifically.
Okay.
Alex is in not too far from here actually. He's in Cypress, which is like Orange County. And then our guitarist, who's not here on this right now, but he's in San Diego. But he lived up here in LA, Marina Del Rey for a while. But now he moved down to San Diego. So now we just say SoCal just because we're all basically in the SoCal area, and we've pretty much play in those different cities since starting it.
Sure. It's San Diego. I
Yeah.
like that place, man. The weather, oh,
Mhm.
chef's
Mhm.
kiss. Like,
Mhm.
isn't that like supposed to be like statistically the city with the best weather in the entire United States? Like, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't
It,
know that, but that would be 100% fact. Because every time I go to San Diego on a good day, it's just the breeze, like you said, chef kisses.
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure it's like all year round is supposed to be like 70.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're big fans. I mean, yeah, it's probably there. It's probably 70 right now. We just played there last week and it was great weather. There was no complaints, wasn't hot, wasn't, cold. It was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also just saw that you guys had played with Hidden in Plain View. That's a little bit of a throwback. That's pretty sick. How was that?
Go ahead, Alex. Yeah, that was a
I,
lot of fun.
yeah, that was a pretty fun show. It was at the Echo in LA. And we've played that venue before, and it's just a really great venue. And to share the stage with Hidden in Plain View, it was a pretty like full circle moment for us. Like I remember catching them on MySpace somewhere,
Oh
and
yeah.
just years later, here we are playing with them. So it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, we got to play the larger room at that venue, which was pretty cool. So we played the Echo Plex, which was a pretty big room, probably our largest stage that we've played um, to date. And yeah, they're on their 20-year anniversary, which is crazy to think about. And they're playing like all the major markets. And yeah, we got lucky enough to be direct support for them, which is pretty cool. And yeah, they're all so nice too. Like they're just like super like welcoming and excited to have us on the bill. And I was like, I used to listen to those guys when I was like, yeah, in middle school, high school. And so it's pretty cool
Right.
to like actually share the stage with them and watch them play all their hits. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was like, looking through doing my research. I was like, oh man, Hidden in Plain View. Plain View, what a throwback. That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I didn't know they were on their 20th anniversary, so
Yeah,
time.
that one album with the artwork, obviously. It's been 20
That
years. Yeah,
that one
2005.
album with the artwork, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
literally.
good one. With the balloon. Isn't he holding a balloon? Right. Yeah, I think so.
I
I don't
believe
know.
so, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean it's tough to remember so many albums and names of albums and album covers and stuff, especially now with the age of like streaming, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, like I remember like so many things from like 20 years ago and stuff, but I was actually just talking to somebody. It was Gibby, my co-host, and he was asking me like, or he was showing me like album titles from like 2017, 2018. He's like, "What
Yeah.
you don't know this? You don't know this?" I'm like, "What? I never fucking had that on a CD or anything. How am I gonna know what that is? Like, it
Right.
doesn't have a name on it. It doesn't have the band name on it. How am I gonna know?"
Yeah.
Right.
Age of
I
streaming.
mean,
Some of them.
yeah, exactly. Like 20 years ago, you're like, oh, of course, you remember the Blink 182 cover of the self-titled. You remember,
Right.
the Fall Out Boy under the cork tree. Those are all because you had the CD and
Right.
Yeah.
you had the jewel case, and you're like opening up the artwork. It was all sick. Now it's like you just have the cover artwork for the single or the album, and that's kind of, it's all streaming, and so it doesn't really. I mean, artwork is important. I will say that, but
Hmm.
I guess it's not as important
Yeah.
versus like 20 years ago.
I
Doesn't get
think,
across. Yeah, it doesn't get across like it used to.
yeah, it's not the same for sure. It's not like as impactful, but
Right.
I feel like the impact it has though is that the cover is important for like
Mhm.
up and coming bands because if it's like some shitty thing made on like, you know, Photoshop, like, and you did it yourself, you have no idea
Right.
what you're doing and it looks bad, no one, chances are people aren't going to check it out, you know, or aren't going to give it as much attention because it doesn't look good.
Right. It's got to look, eye-catching. I will say that. Yeah, if you're like on Spotify and you're like, have some, yeah, like some bullshit artwork, of course no one's going to click on that, but yeah. So in that sense, definitely
Hmm.
have to have something that's worth. We've always just hired like freelancers, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool. Just use different artists for all of our single releases, and so we've had the pleasure of just like working with those different artists and having them kind of, hey, this is what the song's kind of about, and then they'll kind of run with it and then give us some like ideas that they had, and then we go back and forth, and yeah, that's how we basically come up with ours, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Uh, I always like working with different artists. For the longest time I did until like we started working with like our long-term artist Lawrence Crow, who we've been with for doing stuff with now for like 15 years. That's like the pretty much the when I stopped like bouncing around, I was like, this is my dude. This is our
Yeah,
guy.
we had the same guy, what, for like three, I think, right,
Yeah,
Alex?
I think so.
And then
Last four.
we just changed it up this last single and went with the person that did all of the Hot Mulligan stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, she's done like tons of people, but the most like distinguished one is probably the Hot Mulligan one with like the ghost and have that album cover. So yeah, we wanted to change it up for this one, make it a little bit more different, just because it's a new song. We haven't had a
Yeah.
song out in 5-6 months, so it
You
was
gotta
time.
you gotta switch it up. Speaking
Yeah.
of singles and all that sort of stuff, so you guys just released your latest single, Promise, on April 25th, which is like, as you were just saying, your first single since your last EP, Unconditional, which you
Mhm.
released in like October of 2024. How has the response been for the new song?
Oh, it's been great. We've been hitting new milestones this month.
Mm,
We have the most monthly listeners now, which is pretty cool since being a band. And it's the fastest streaming plays, like in terms of like getting to a certain, like we're already like at 7,500 plays, which is, it's only been out for 2 weeks. So
yeah, that's
um,
huge.
it was quick. Usually, it's kind of a slow build, but
Hmm.
we've seen a lot of, you know, just hit the ground running. It went really quick, which is nice to see. Of course, that doesn't, it helps with having Jaden feature on it, but they yeah, it's pretty cool to see all the responses for this one.
And it's a good song. Don't put it all on Jaden there. You did a good song, you know, and
Thank you, thank
like
you.
and not only that, but like your music is I feel like I have come to like over the time now since I started like checking you guys out, like I assume it's going to be good. Like that's just me. Like but you guys have like you come like if you release something, you come to the table with a product, you know, with a finished, it's gonna be polished, it's gonna sound good, it's gonna have a good recording, and you're gonna do everything in your power to make it as catchy as fuck. Like that's you're coming out the gate with something strong each time. So that give yourself some credit.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we've been lucky enough to have you guys share it every time, which is we appreciate that every time that we have a release, you guys just, you know, giving us the promo that we're looking for. So I appreciate you guys, always doing that for every release. And but yeah, we have, I feel like we've dabbled in a lot of different genres, but this is more on the popular side, I would say. It's more pop rock versus like our pop punk with like In
Hmm.
Front of Me or our song In Front of Me or Built for This. Those are more like pop punk leaning,
Hmm. Yeah.
but it definitely shows our like, diversity when it comes to writing songs. And it's just, we're having a good time writing songs. It's just showing our, what we can do as artists, which is cool to see.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It's definitely like each of the song, like you were even saying, like this song is definitely a lot more um pop based. It starts out with like the acoustic and stuff like that, and like
Hmm.
it it's still like right in the same realm. It definitely isn't like a huge genre switch or anything. It's like it's still in there. It's just more pop leaning, but you got to do that sometimes.
We didn't go full country like everyone else is doing, so we,
You're
I don't
not
know
gonna
if
go.
we'll lean that
You
way.
ain't gonna go alternative yet.
I don't
yeah.
know.
Is that what it's called? Is that what the genre is called?
I
Like
didn't know
the
that's the
alternative?
genre name.
Y'all alternative, I believe.
Gosh,
That's a good
everyone
one.
is doing it right now. But
It,
hey,
I don't know. So here's the deal. I don't know where you're at with it. First off, I don't love country music, okay? But I'm gonna get
right.
that right out of the way. Unless it's 90s country like some fucking Garth Brooks, I'll fuck with that all day long. I like Garth Brooks a lot. But I need some like way down yonder on the Chattahoochee or something to get me moving
Right.
if we're going country. Um uh but like of like this alternative, there's only a couple that I've heard that I'm like, okay, this is good. Like I like this.
Right.
Um, and one of them is that fucking newest Bill Murray album. Holy shit.
Hmm.
Holy.
I
Woo.
haven't heard that. No.
Oh my God.
That is-
Bill Murray, like
Like
the actor?
no, Bill Murray, the
Sorry. Bill Murray, the guy from, was he like Attack
Attack
Attack or
Attack. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, way back when? Yes.
The latest album. Now, I guess I would consider it alternative is very like country pop heavy though. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of how
Hmm.
I think it's the alternative. I guess I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that, but I that's what I would consider it. And I think that is leaps and bounds the best of that genre.
Hmm.
Right.
But I
Yeah, I
haven't heard
mean,
a lot of others. Don't do it.
Post Malone's doing it a ton. Jelly Roll.
But I feel like they're just country. They're
Yeah, at
just
this
putting
point.
country out.
Right. That's true.
Ah,
I feel like, I mean, this was like a long time ago, but like Boys Like Girls like dabbled in that for like that one album. There was like, it was like right before they like kind of went on hiatus. There was a country album that they put out. It
I
was
know.
uh
Thought it
and
was
then also
terrible.
like a, yeah, I mean, they didn't have the, it was the one after Love Drunk, which was their, still they were still pretty big, but then they put out like a y'all alternative, which I like that. It's pretty funny. Uh
Yeah, it's super
I'm gonna
funny.
use that.
they put out that album that was super country twangy and it then they went on hiatus. So obviously it didn't, you know, not saying was, I don't want to
Not
shit on them,
saying it
but
ended their career, but
yeah,
uh,
Crazy World is
oh,
what it was called.
okay.
Hmm.
Crazy World. Very
I
country.
I don't remember. I know that like one of my friends has always kind of put their stuff out at me, and I haven't liked him really since those first couple albums because like
Right.
he started singing differently, and even now he still has like a bit more like country to his
Hmm.
voice, and I don't like that.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, he moved to Nashville, so that'll do it. That'll do it to anyone, right?
Oh.
it sure will because that's what them's that big bucks,
Martin
that
Johnson. Yeah, that's his name.
that country money.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
um But getting back to you guys though, so with
Yeah.
this, you got
Enough
this
about
new,
Boys Like Girls.
yeah, fuck them. No, boys like girls, you're cool. I like boys like girls. But so with Promise though, okay, so is this gonna be part of a new EP, or are you just focusing on singles right now, or what's it looking like for y'all?
Well, we've been just doing the single releases right now. And we're probably gonna put out another single here in the next few months, but we have hopes to definitely put out another EP or album, but we like the single rollout, I think.
Hmm.
Just kind of keep people engaged versus spending a ton of money and time on an album versus EP when you're not when you're unsigned, it's and then you release it and then the roller coaster goes down quickly. And so it's like
Totally.
this way you have things that you're trickling out and then
Hmm.
you can re-release like what we did with Unconditional. We had 5 songs or something like that, 6 songs. We just re-released it as an EP. So it just kind of does a self promo again versus like,
Exactly.
you know, writing brand new 6 songs and then you're like, shit, now what do we got? And that's what it is nowadays. Everyone has short attention span. So like you want to have something in the bank in the pipeline to re-release,
Hmm.
in a couple months. So it's yeah, I think that's like what we've been working towards. And we have a few sessions that are kind of lined up here to start writing more music. But yeah, ultimately probably it'll be another single, I would say.
Yeah. No, I can't agree
Yeah.
more. Like with the putting out albums and stuff or EPs. EPs are great, like, but
Hmm.
doing it the same way, because I know people. I had a friend that released like an EP, and they released like two of the 2 or 3 songs off of it, and they were like, "All right, I'm putting out the rest of the EP." I'm like, "But why? Why do that? Don't do that. Like, release all of them as singles. Like,
Yeah.
that's you're you are just wasting like promo for yourself, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Because if you gotta you as you're saying, attention spans are real short with like this, like with the internet age, the social media age, we're in.
Hmm.
And because I mean, just even looking at what Unsigned Pop Punk's done, like there's so much out there. Like there's so many bands out there that you're competing with. Like we've worked with like almost 4,000 different bands now, like in this genre,
Yeah.
you know? So like that's a lot of fucking competition.
Hmm.
So you got to make sure you're out there doing, like, it's busy work, content is king. You got to you got to have stuff to promote. If you're gonna gonna do an album, cool. Awesome. That's a great idea. 10 songs, do it. All 10 songs as a single. Then your 11th single is the whole fucking album.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
That's that is, I think, the most smartest way to roll out, yeah, as music nowadays, because it's not like it was 20 years ago with I think Hidden in Plain View, just to use them as an example, their single probably Bleed for You, that big one,
Hmm.
was their single, and then they released the album. It's like,
Right.
but then it was just different then. Like there wasn't like you had MySpace. I'm sorry, you didn't have TikTok or Instagram Reels or something like that, where
Right.
it's like, all right, swipe, swipe, swipe. What's the next song? It was like that album you sat on it and you listened to it for the whole year, and then they wrote another album. But like now it's like you got to have a single. Next quarter you got to have a single, and then a single and a single. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely it's not exhausting because it's fun to write music with that we're doing and we
It's
like doing
exhausting,
it.
but it's
It is, but it's
exhausting.
exhausting for all these promo plans, like the rollouts are
Yeah.
constant and it's like
Yeah.
it's never ending, it feels like.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, we got this single. We got to have how many how many TikToks and reels and shorts for this, for this
Yeah,
release?
Yeah.
50? Okay. Uh are we making a music video for this?
right. That's a whole nother thing. Jesus.
Oh
Music
yeah.
videos.
Yeah. It is. It's another big expense, another
Yeah.
time time drain, but it's another thing that's important because everyone still wants them, whether they end up, it's funny because it's one of those things that people are like, don't they won't go fucking watch it, but they'll bitch if you don't have it.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
mean, we've just been doing like, short reels or something like that, like clips, and
Yeah.
then like a lyric video so that we at least have something on YouTube for
Hmm.
people to listen to. Um, but yeah, there's just a huge budget around music videos, and then you're like running the risk of like people just not watching on YouTube, but I guess you can still cut them up to be like
You,
reels and
oh yeah.
TikToks, which
You
is
can you can use that for a hundred fucking videos, man. Like
right.
it's all watching other people what they do and going, okay, how do I cut this differently using the same clip? It's just
Yeah.
writing different stuff on top of
Yeah.
it.
Do you like, yeah, are you fans of Fall Out Boy, Blink
Yeah,
182?
yeah.
And,
For
my
fans
kid,
of, like,
you'll like this. And
do
it's
you
like,
miss MySpace?
yeah, we always joke about that. Yeah, it's different nowadays. I will say that. Yeah, to
It
be in
is.
a band.
Oh, totally. 100%. Okay. So we got a deeper question for you, okay? And you kind of
Cool.
touched on this a little bit though, but Sunburnt's been described as like high energy trio injecting sunshine into everyday lives up and downs. So how did this ethos come to define your music and identity as a band?
Alex, I'll let you take this one in terms of like, yeah, he's basically saying our writing or what our lyrics are about, or is that what you're asking?
Sure, however
Yeah,
you want to answer
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
However it makes you feel.
We started this band kind of during the whole pandemic stuff, and even prior to that, we were doing bands, but then we were inactive for a minute, and then Justin, Will, and I all came together, and we said, I think we should do this, like one more time, and you just give this another go and actually really give it another shot, and then I guess like fast forward to all the writing and the songs we have during that process, I think we wanted something, honest and, something that felt good to us. And uh, we just wanted to make sure we all liked it as the three of us. Anything that we wrote, we wanted to make sure that we were happy with it. I'm into a lot of different music. Justin's into a lot of different music. Will has a crazy taste of music. So we all wanted to make sure we captured every single person's taste and influence, whether it be the instrumentation or the lyrics. But as far as the three of us, we're all pretty collaborative, pretty well, like we're a pretty good team, when we
Yeah.
work in the studio. So yeah.
So, what's your writing like? Like, how does writing a Sunburnt song kind of look?
So sometimes I don't like to say all the time, Justin, but sometimes I usually start with some demos of my own that, potentially become the songs, but I'll start a demo that I think like sounds or feels good, and then I'll show them to the boys, and then we take them to one of our producers, and then we have all these different kind of demos, and he presses play, kind of sees which one he likes, and then we'll kind of just work on that one and then kind of build a new song from scratch using that demo. And then
Yeah,
we'll
it's like we have a foundation already laid out of like what it's it jump starts the sessions a lot quicker, I will say that. So having a demo that Alex has
yeah.
is like just building it from and having that foundation to quickly go off of.
Hmm.
So we'll show the producer like five of them, and then he'll pick one that he likes. And then in terms of like concepts, Alex touched on that. Is like we have done different genres and different styles, like always chasing something that was like popular at the time, maybe.
Sure.
So we now are trying to stay authentic and actually talk about real stuff. We're in our 30s now, so it's not like we're going to talk about heartbreaks. And I know Promise does sound like it's a heartbreak song, but it's actually we didn't want to write it intended for that. I mean, the listener will obviously think it's about a heartbreak in a relationship, but it's more so just trying to write things that are happening in our lives now. So like we have a song that's like about, you know, like In Front of Me is about going forward in life and always looking forward and moving forward in life instead of dwelling on the past. and unconditional is about my son. So it's like real things, and then promise is just basically about also taking a promise and like forgetting about who you were. Maybe you were always dwelling about someone, about something or a memory. So it's like it could be interpreted different ways. And like so like we didn't want to write about, heartbreak because
Yeah.
we're in our 30s, so we didn't want to write those cheesy, songs. So
I mean, yeah,
we
a
always
lot
try
has
to.
happened. I mean, a lot has happened and
Yeah,
a lot has happened in our lives individually and as a band. And we rewrite these songs to kind of generalize it for everyone else because I know that we are all going through the same kind of thing. I mean, in the last 5 years, it was a crazy time. So we're all getting in the whole, world of things of like getting back to everything that we used to do, but it's not the same. So
Sure.
we want to touch up on things that I know people are thinking about or going through, or just topics that I haven't really heard in music in a while.
That's fair.
relatable stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, as you get older, the things you sing about usually tend to change. I mean, unless you're Blink-182,
yeah,
you keep a lot of the same tropes. But no,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. They grew a lot actually, but there's still a lot of dick jokes. So, but yeah, no, it's growth is good. It's good to grow, and that's one of the things I love about music though, that you guys were talking about is that promise. Some people are gonna think it's about like heartbreak or a significant other or something like that. Like that's the thing. I love that about songs. It's you listen to it and it can mean whatever it means to you. Like
Exactly.
Hmm.
its written intention doesn't have to matter when it's like when the listener is listening because that you're going to interpret it how you want.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were surprised like about unconditional because they're like, we say that when we're playing a live show that it is about my son, but if I didn't tell you that, you would have no idea that it's written about my new son. So it's like it's just basically, yeah, exactly how the listener will take it is what you wanted the song to be about, basically.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So to like looking get a little behind the curtain. So what's the second half of 2025 looking like for y'all? Like do you guys got any more shows lined up or a tour or anything? I know we talked about that you're working on some more new music and stuff, but what else y'all up to?
Uh, we've we have more shows actually, so we've been fortunate to get like the opening slots on a lot of national tours that are coming through, and so we
Sweet.
have a we have a show in a couple weeks opening for a band called Diva Bleach.
Hmm.
It's a duo, girl duo from
Cool.
Arizona, opening for them, and then we have a couple other that are pending that we haven't yet confirmed, but we'll have another one, in June. Have some stuff lined up in July and August. So just kind of getting shows on the books so that we at least have some momentum, moving forward and have stuff to promote. Because like we said earlier, you have to always have something, on your plate to promote. And
Right.
yeah, so we have at least stuff kind of through this summer, and then hopefully we can release another song in the fall, and then it starts all over again, and you have some more shows. Because I find like it's a formula because I do a lot of the booking, and I feel like you got your spring shows. So we have all the spring tours that are announced right now, and we are fortunate to get on a lot of these. And then you have your early summers, then you got your summer tours, and then you got your fall tours, and then your winters. Sometimes a lot of bands don't do winter tours. They'll probably go to like overseas or Australia or something like that, where it's like a different weather climate. But
Climate, yeah.
yeah, so we've been just kind of getting on all these tours as they're coming through and getting announced because yeah, we're from basically SoCal, so we have the opportunity to open up in San Diego. We've played San Diego a ton. We play in LA. We play in Orange County. So we've just been kind of getting lucky with all these because we those are basically bigger markets versus like being in another state. You
Hmm.
have the opportunity to open it up in all these different bigger markets because if a band will announce a tour, they'll most likely have San Diego, Orange County, LA on the tour.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, we just been kind of getting lucky with those tour packages.
Are you guys going to be making it out to Long Beach Warp Tour?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Alex wants to go. Yeah, we
Justin wants to go.
um yeah, of course. It's in our backyard. I mean, that's where I'm from, and it's gonna be downtown, which is like 10 minutes from me from where I'm at right now in my house.
Yeah,
So it's pretty cool that they're doing it here. Um, we have an idea of like having like an unofficial slash official kickoff for that weekend. So like everyone's probably going to be in town for that weekend. We're going to probably do a show that Friday before the Warp Tour um, at a
smart,
venue in Long Beach and just promote it as a Warp Tour kickoff party. So like I'm sure a lot
smart.
of people will be in town and wanted something to do on a Friday night. So we're going to throw a little party that Friday night and probably go one of the days. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday.
Smart way to be. Just try and get one of the bands. Just hop on the show.
I know. Yeah, we've kind of
Not a
flirted
big
with the
deal.
idea. I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's been an idea that I had when Warp got announced. I was like, shit, it's gonna be in Long Beach. There's a handful of Long Beach venues. Let me get ahead of it and contact them. And yeah, we got lucky with a venue that got back. It's called Alex's Bar.
Hmm.
It's Alex's, Alex's Bar. But yeah, and he loved the idea, and he's behind it. So we'll probably announce that pretty soon. And yeah, it'll be a cool night, just kind of promoting Warp Tour and that it's back and all that fun stuff. So yep.
Nice. Lost me for a second. Somebody was freaking calling me. It's like, get out here. Get out here. Get out here now. Um, that was super disorienting. I was like, what is happening? Um, yeah, no, it's a super great idea. I like it. I have ideas. We'll talk more after. We won't give them our ideas, listener. You don't get these
Yeah,
ideas.
exactly.
Get out of here. Okay. Uh so we touched also like a little bit about this, but like being unsigned, is tough. It's a tough gig. It means betting on yourself every single day. Um, but the landscape has changed an insane amount. Do you
Mhm.
see signing with a label as a goal, or do you believe that the future is independent?
Alex, I'll let you take that. I have
I
something to say
think
on this one. So yeah.
I mean, Justin and I have been in bands for, I mean, I've known him since 2009, and we've been playing music kind of since around that time. And our goal has always been to be signed by somebody. And I know that the music industry's changed, and they say that independent is the way to go, or getting signed is the way to go. Honestly, at this point, I think for us, I mean, if we can wing it independently, cool, like we have been. But if we can get signed to somebody, as long as it makes sense for us, and it feels right, and the people are cool and good, then I don't mind being signed to something. I'm not
Hmm.
saying like let's get signed to a major label. I'm like, a label that can obviously, put things in front of us, and
Hmm.
give us some benefits, just an extra push. We could always use a push, an extra push or some more leverage. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I will say, when you start a band, you're always like, I want to get signed, I want to get signed, I want to get signed, I want to get signed. And that's like always the mentality. But like doing it for so long, like yeah, Alex said, I mean, I've been in a band since I was 14 and 15, even before I met Alex. And but yeah, we've been in several different bands trying to make it, trying to do the thing, following Warp Tour. Speaking of Warp Tour, following Warp Tour, selling CDs in the lines, just trying to get our name out there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think when we started this band Sunburnt, we kind of started on a not we started it with the mentality of like, okay, we have a lot of we've done a ton of networking over the years. We have a lot of good contacts. We started out of the gate pretty fast because we had a lot of people that we knew and got in the door without even having a band name, or like we had demos. And so we were able to get like in producers studios and start recording. And then, yeah, we've gotten so many shows without being signed. And so like, I will say though, like there is a certain moment or I guess a time frame where you have to get signed in order to open up more doors. And so I feel like we're almost at that point where we can only do so much as an unsigned band, where it's like getting on like, you know, syncing deals with like getting on, I don't know, commercials and things like that, or getting on national tours. I guess, you know, you need a booking agent and a label behind that. So we've conquered a lot of big things as an unsigned band, I will say,
Hmm.
for just being in a band for a couple of years. But I feel like we're ready at that point to hopefully, you know, soon be in the talks, or hopefully we're already in the talks with some labels. And I don't want to. I feel like there are labels out there that would, you know, be beneficial. Of course, they're they're basically a bank. They'll give you a loan to go record an album.
Hmm.
Um, but there's also labels that do it right and that do care about their artists and bands.
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be a good fit. I will say that. I'm not going to just jump at the very first one.
Hmm.
And so, but I do want to get in a studio and not have the constraint of like, damn, this is going to be so freaking expensive to record an album. The label is going to be able to provide that, and then we can, you know, work freely and not be like, damn, we only have a certain amount of time or a certain amount of money to record X amount of songs. That would be a very good, you know, thing to have, of course. But
Yeah.
we're at this time I feel like we're doing good and okay for being unsigned. But of course,
100%.
yeah, I would love to be signed.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a dream.
Yeah,
It's everybody's dream at one. It's like I feel like a lot of people that make the claim of like doing it independent is
yeah,
better have also been signed at one point, have been signed and now
hmm,
aren't signed. You know, it's like they learned from it. They learned how to do things more from it. You know, it's like you have to, in order to be fully independent, you have to know how to do these things or teach yourself
yeah,
how to do these, like a
yeah.
lot of things, you know.
And
So,
I will say, Alex and I always talk about this. Like, there's people that are given the opportunity and they blow it basically. They like take it for granted essentially.
mhm.
We have fought and grinded so long doing this music thing for, you know, half of our lives. I feel like if we were given the opportunity, we would just be able to take advantage of it essentially, because we have done X amount of things throughout our careers as a
Mhm.
musician. We're like, damn, now we have this opportunity to actually get people to listen to our music that we, you know, maybe not have heard it already. So um just opens doors, I feel like, and I feel like that's what we would probably benefit from the most.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you're even saying, you know, you can't, one of the things that a label will do will be making some of these connections, opening certain
Hmm,
doors that, you know, you may not have been able to get open before, you know, like,
hmm,
you know, I just even like me, like I have managers that won't respond to me, you know, they won't get back to me, you know, like, and it's that sort of thing, you know, like you guys, there are certain venues that just won't answer you, or you
yeah,
know, there's a lot of people that just won't give you the time of day if it doesn't have like smart punk behind it or hopeless records or you know something behind it, you
Yeah.
know,
right.
and so it's like unless you've already made those connections. So, and usually you can't make those connections until you have been signed, but that's not every case either.
Yeah.
So there's a
It's
lot.
who you know. The music industry is small but large, and it's really who you know.
It's all
And
about who you know in
yeah,
entertainment of all kinds.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and that's why we've been, I guess, fortunate enough to be on some of these shows or work with some of these producers or writers, is because we have been doing it for so long, and we have known a lot of people and made connections and networked. And so, um, yeah, I'm not saying, you know, it's we've just been fortunate enough to be able to also being in LA is is great to have because it's everyone's from here and stuff like that. So,
Yes.
um, and I just got an email. We just got confirmed for another show. So there you go. It just
Nice.
the squeaky wheel
News.
gets and we just we have good music to back us up. And I'm
Hmm.
not just trying to be conceited, but we have music that is good. It just I want people to hear it. So it's like, of course, being signed is gonna get us there. And so, but like if we submit for things, I feel like we have a pretty good chance of getting stuff in SoCal is because our music is good enough for people to,
Yeah, it speaks
yeah,
for itself.
that band's good.
Hmm.
Of course, I'll have them. Yeah. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah, your music speaks for itself. Um,
Hmm.
so another like kind of, technical side of things question. So when it comes to promoting your music, what techniques do you find work the best? You know, whether it's like posting on a band social or your personal social, doing face to face out to shows, what do you find the most success in?
That's a Justin question.
Ah. Um. Well, I did tell Alex and Will when we first started this band that we are not a TikTok band. We are not, and we will not be a TikTok band. Um, but there's a disclaimer there because I know how important it is to post videos and short reels and
Hmm.
blah, 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 blah. So I do know the benefits of doing that. And it does go a long way. I will say that. So like our latest one, we're actually doing the lip singing and bullshit. So but because it's a song that we care about, we wanted to make a pretty big impact with. So we did get a videographer and did the whole thing. Um, but we're not gonna dance in front of us, a camera. We're not gonna go to Home Depot or whatever it is, those stupid trends, and do your song going down the aisles or grocery
Oh,
stores. Just because I said this earlier, we've been in bands that were trying to make music that was popular at the time. Like we are in a pretty pop band before this, like very, very pop, like Disney.
okay.
Um, and we were trying to go the Jonas Brothers, All Star Weekend, that type of vibe.
Yeah.
But like it didn't seem, I guess, real. And so when we started Sunburnt, we wanted to make sure that it was very authentic and people pick up on that. They really do. And so if you're doing the TikTok dances, it's gonna look fake and forced. And so we're trying to do content that actually looks good and that looks true to who we want to be. And again, we're in our 30s, so we don't want to be putting out stupid stuff that makes us look, you know. I have a son, I have a wife. We all have family, so it's like, yeah, I want to make sure that we're doing content that makes sense for Sunburnt and not something that we're chasing, that
Yeah.
other bands are doing. Not
Right.
saying that it's wrong. A lot of bands get popular for doing the TikTok thing, and they do great videos, and they'll get a lot of views and plays from it,
Hmm.
but they're probably meant to do that and they don't look forced doing it. And so I feel like, of course, like we'll post a video of us like maybe rehearsing or doing like a live video of us playing live, things like that. But yeah, there's just like a certain I'll draw the line when it comes to certain things. I will say that. So,
Sure.
and I think Alex is the same way. I think that there's certain things that we just don't want to touch on, and
I think we're just sticking in a lane where I think
yeah.
works for us. Not
Hmm.
who's
Mhm.
to say that we might do a video and it goes viral, like sure, cool. But who's to say that what works for them might work for us? So we're
It's
we're
all different. It really
Yep.
trying
is.
our things out and also too I think what works is when we're doing these shows we're at the merch table, we are like saying hi
Mhm.
to these new fans, we're talking to them, and most of these TikTok bands, not to say that they're bad or anything, but I don't think a lot of them know the etiquette like to doing shows and being there and like saying hello to fans. Like if we're not going to be this TikTok band, then at least we have to at least do our part in like
Yeah.
engaging fans that are at these shows that we play and make sure they love us and we're cool with them.
Hmm.
That whole thing.
And that shows our side of being, real and authentic is when we're in person at a live show, we're on stage being ourselves, meeting them after the show, things like that. And yeah, so that's our, and then also doing these podcasts, these
Hmm.
shows, it'll actually show who we really are,
Yeah.
instead of, getting behind a camera and doing the whole thing with a ring thing. And so it's like, yeah, it's just, there's different ways to go about it. There's no right formula
Right.
nowadays. There's different ways you can get popular and seen. And so, yeah, this is our style of doing it, and it's working for us. So
And I think TikTok has changed so much as well
yeah.
from just
Yeah.
from when it started. Um, because you could do whatever you want on TikTok,
Hmm.
but I do want to say though, I feel like there's a huge because TikTok is like Instagram basically
Hmm.
now. Like you use it, you got to use it. It's one of the things
Yeah.
you have to do.
Right.
Um, but so like every band is on TikTok. Um, but there's a difference between a TikTok band or artist
Mm.
and an artist or a band on TikTok. Like I say that because there are a lot of people and bands and artists that got famous and got popular on TikTok, but have never played a show. So they don't know,
We've seen this. Yeah.
they don't know that etiquette because they didn't do anything the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
They did it this grossish kind of new way. I
Yeah.
say grossish
Yeah.
because it's like I don't know. You're getting famous on TikTok before there's no paying of dues, right? There's no such thing. It's all fucking luck, guys.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Every aspect is hard work and a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Um, and even these TikTok artists, it's not it's a lot of luck because they got viral, and that's hard to do. But they had talent because that many people watched it.
Right.
If you're a shitty fucking singer, they're not going to watch you unless they're watching because it's so bad it's hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna watch it because it's so bad.
But like if you're not good, you're
Yeah.
you're not going to go viral, and so that's where that hard work is. It's a whole
Hmm.
different type of hard work.
Right.
Um but when it comes to us oldies, that did the grind,
Hmm.
had to learn how to become like to get people to come out to shows, go to studios and record because he couldn't just record in your basement or your bedroom closet, like you can now. You had to put a whole lot more effort into it. So a lot of us, are a little jaded by that TikTok shit.
Right.
But it's all luck and it's still all hard work. It's just different. And it's different
Hmm.
and it's new. Um, and when we get old, we don't like new things anymore. But
Nope.
but you got to give credit where credit's due. And like, yeah, going viral, TikTok, awesome. Being able to replicate that live is not as easy. And a lot of them go into it thinking that they can do it. And a lot of them can. A lot of them just have that natural charisma and
Yeah.
talent, and they just go fucking kill it. But I have definitely seen my fair share of ones that cannot because a lot of what they recorded wasn't fucking real.
Hmm.
It's recorded with a shit ton of Melodyne, you know, uh, recording the guitars 1,000 times to make it perfectly right, not being able to record it once as a playthrough.
Yeah.
There's a lot that hinders new artists that have the luxury of just doing their stuff in their bedroom without having to pay by the hour.
Right. And that's why I like this genre so much, pop punk, just because a lot of these guys are grinding. They're playing shows. They're
Hmm.
they're doing the old school way of promoting. And so, and that's us. That's what we grew up on. Fall Out Boy, Blink, Warped Tour, all that vibe was grinding. And
Yeah.
so And those bands that made it out, like Paramore, Fall Out Boy, those big ones, they also grinded to get to that point. And so, yeah, of course, I'm going to be a little jaded, like you said, when people get famous overnight because of a stupid damn video. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Get famous
like
overnight and they'll never know anything about standing in 100-degree weather on a
selling CDs, right?
parking lot selling CDs or walking through a mall going, "Hey, go talk to that person. They'll buy one." They'll
Check it
never
out.
know.
It's only $5. I
Yeah.
promise you'll love it.
Oh
Check it.
man.
Hey, here, put my headphones in my iPod. I
Exactly.
might check
Yeah,
out my iPod. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They'll
They'll
never
never know what
know.
that is. They're like, I'm sorry, what? You talk to someone in real life? That's weird.
Yeah. Gross.
You said hi to someone in person. You shook their hand. That's strange.
Oh,
Yeah,
ick.
it's different.
Physical connection, icky. All right. We got one more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your musical journey, what would it be?
Alex.
Um, I'll keep it nice and sweet. Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane and just keep doing what you feel feels good for you. All the trends, all that stuff, don't pay too much attention to it. Just stick to what you're good at, know your role, and I think that's it.
Just be your authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be true to who you are. I mean, that's what all of our idols that we idolize, they always say, just be yourself. So I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, just be yourself.
Hmm.
What's that?
That's definitely what I was gonna say as well. And I kind of been hitting on that this whole show is, yeah, definitely stay true to yourself. I've done it myself. I've done genres and bands where, I was trying to force that. And so if you're good at a certain genre, you like a certain genre, I feel like that's the genre that you should go after in terms of like starting a new band, not trying to chase a new genre like the alternative. I think that if you're good at something, like us, emo, pop punk, pop rock, it's gonna come out when it's gonna stay true when you're releasing the songs. You're like, okay, these guys are not trying to chase something. They're
Hmm.
literally, this is what they're good at. That's the genre that they know how to do.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and I think that's why we started Sunburn, is because we wanted to start something that we knew that we're good at, and we're gonna be able to stay true to it and write great songs that we all like, essentially.
Mhm.
So, and share the stage with good bands that we also like coming through our town. So like that also helps, is like we like the bands that we're playing with, and we're just stoked to be a part of these bills when we're getting them. So
Yeah, that would be the worst, being like getting popular in by being in a band like and doing music you don't like and then
I
having to
mean,
like go do a
yeah,
bunch of shows
Yeah.
watching bands you don't fucking like. That would
Yeah.
be
we've
awful.
played with some pretty poppy people in previous days, and like, yeah, it's like it's cool because like they're popular, of course, but like,
Hmm.
is it the music that you would typically listen to and like rock out to? Like, no, but like you're just, it's cool to be on the bill. But like now it's like I just fucking played with Hidden in Plain View. It's like, dude, that's fucking sick. Like my 15-year-old self would be like, damn, that's pretty awesome. I never thought I would do that. Versus
Yeah.
like, yeah, I opened for Aaron Carter, for example, like 10 years ago, RIP. But like,
Hmm.
was I as stoked to open for Aaron Carter as I was with Hidden in Plain View or some of these other bands that we played with? Like,
Yeah.
no. Like, so it's like, and that goes back to the genre that we're in. We started this because we like this music, and that's what we grew up on listening to. So
Aaron Carter though, that's a good name drop though. Still,
yeah,
R.I.P., but good name drop.
RIP.
All right. With that great bit of advice, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our next segment. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us to help bring even more new artists to your attention. Now, again, Open Your Ears Records is an amazing independent record label out of Richmond, Virginia, with a killer lineup of up-and-coming bands and artists. We talk about this every week now. This week is a big one, though. Another One Down just released their highly anticipated EP, Face Reality, on Friday, May 2nd, featuring the singles Pressure and Sinners and Saints, off of Open Your Ears Records. Face Reality brings you high emotion and fast-paced intensity from start to finish, so make sure to stream the hell out of it and get out to a show if you're in the area. Make sure to also follow them and Open Your Ears Records on their socials at Another One Down RI and OYE Rex. You're going to want to follow them so you can keep up with them and everything that they've got going on. You can also once again check out our interview with Another One Down back on episode 104 or season 3, episode 35. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us and for sponsoring this episode. R.I.P.
I know. We played with him twice actually, and it just
when it
sucks.
was it when he was like super drugged out, or was that
the first time? No, he was very clean. Second time, he started to get a little haywire, and then it went downhill. Yeah,
dude,
so,
he was out of his mind at the end there.
It was way before the pandemic. Yeah,
yeah,
talking like 10 years ago.
Sure, that's cool though. It's still cool even if he was like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
he played all the hits. I Want Candy, How I Beat Shaq. You know, it's like all the big ones.
How I Beat Shaq.
What was the other one that's huge? Aaron's Party. Well, that one's really big too.
I Want Candy.
That was like that's the only one I know. I never listened to. I was more of a Nick Carter fan.
Oh, Backstreet Boys fan. All right, okay.
I am also I want to like point this out. I also am like a good amount older than you guys. Like I'm 42, so like Nick Aaron Carter, he was just a wee baby for me.
Yeah.
Just a wee lad.
Dude. Backstreet Boys, man, that was a time.
Dude.
Whole era in time. Wow.
I think I was more of a Backstreet Boys fan than NSYNC though.
Yeah.
Until Justin Timberlake came out with his own stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I went for like towards JT, but
mm-hmm.
I liked him. I honestly really liked them both. I like some good pop music. It just depends. I think pop music today is kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's like cheap and like really weird and boring. So I work part-time at Target right now, so I hear a lot of shit and it's fucking weird. Like it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
no, you're right. There's some off the wall stuff. I mean, what's that Dochi? That's like some crazy shit right now. Yeah. That's really popular.
I don't know. It's just I feel like half of it just repeats like one line for 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like they don't say anything in their music.
I mean, or they sample stuff that was popular.
Yeah.
They're just sampling things that were huge. Like the Anxiety song is like that one song, Somebody I Used to Know.
Oh yeah.
Like that. Of course, that's gonna get big. That song was big.
Yeah. I mean, people have been sampling forever, but I just feel like there are like a number of songs lately that like I swear to God, like there's a total of 5 lines in the entire song. Like there's just nothing to it. They just sing the same thing over and over for 3 minutes. And it just drives me batshit crazy. And then they'll play like the Foo Fighters randomly.
I got another confession to make.
Yeah. Target has no identity. They don't know who they are anymore.
Yeah.
They're a shit show as well.
I was working part-time at Target though. Sure, there's perks, right?
Not really.
No?
I thought there was gonna like the perks I had got taken away. My perks was now this may not sound like a perk, but trust me, it is. My shift was 4 a.m. to 12:30. And now
Whoa.
starting work at 4 a.m. sounds really fucking awful, but being done at 12:30 is badass. So,
Take a quick nap and you got the rest of your day. Yeah.
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 Or don't nap and just don't sleep. That's what I do. I,
Love
s-
that.
There you go.
I get like 5.5 hours of sleep, so that's just how I live my
Wow.
life. Um, but that was like my favorite thing. I only get like a I get 10% off, which is fucking trash.
What?
Yeah,
Jeez, that is bad.
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
And it was just like what I do is like pretty simple for the most part, but they piss me off now. So I don't love it. All right. But with that, let's hop back in and we'll talk about food.
Nice.
All right. And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around through those sponsors. It's time for everybody's favorite segment, the food for thought segment. If your tummy wasn't rumbling yet, by the end of this, I hope it will be. If it's not, I haven't done my job. Um, we always get hungry. Like during this, like every time we're hungry, unless it turns into some like really weird like it takes a big turn, and kind of like the last episode I did had a really gross weird turn. So
All right.
but this one shouldn't. Uh and none of my questions, I don't think I've ever asked gross questions. That one just it just took a weird turn. Uh, but all right. So you got a day off on tour. You're in a new city. Are you going to be hunting down like a local food gem or just defaulting to something safe and familiar?
Mm. Local food gem for me.
Yes, I am a big Triple D fan, so probably finding a diners, drive-ins, or dives spot and yeah, going after it. I will say like when we were on like the Warp Tour like years ago, we would go to like a Quiznos or Panera because it was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have a little bit more money, not much, but I would go to yeah, like a local spot for sure and support local.
Try and find a, little local hot spot.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Because
I
there's a good deli somewhere that's not Quiznos.
Yeah. There's a good
eh,
burger spot, there's a good pizza spot.
in theory, there always should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, good sandwich spot somewhere.
I remember one of my favorite spots like in like a random food spot. I was in Des Moines, Iowa, and there was this Chinese pizza place.
Whoa,
It was a like Chinese food and pizza mashup.
they didn't
So
know
Dang.
what they
like you
wanted to do.
yeah, so well I think it took on like it was originally a Chinese food place and then somebody new like bought it, I believe, and they wanted to make pizza, but they also wanted to keep, the Chinese food. So
Jeez.
um the two pizzas that we got, it was a General So pizza, which was fucking out of this world, and then a cream cheese wonton pizza.
Whoa.
Both of
Jeez.
them, both of them were like some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life, and
Interesting.
it's just fucking in Des Moines, Iowa.
That sounds really good. I feel like they have like a orange chicken pizza or something. That sounds good.
I'll bet they do, but I'm a General So man. That's my favorite thing. If I'm going somewhere, that's what I'm getting
Okay.
for the most part.
All right.
Depends on where I'm going.
Yeah, there is a I will say you're not too far off because there's a Thai pizza place in Long Beach and they do like, your yeah, what's it called? I mean, they'll do like the pad Thai pizza, which is like
Mm.
pretty good.
Hmm.
So
Dang. I'd fuck
mhm,
with that.
mhm.
I'd fuck with that. Okay, well, being SoCal natives, tacos, burritos, in and out, the whole
Oh
deal.
yeah.
What's the most Southern California meal you guys crave when you're far from home?
I
Hmm.
mean, you kind of just hit that. I mean, In and Out. Usually you land at LAX and you got to go get In and Out burger. So, um, yeah, I mean, I travel a good amount, and I will say, yeah, like In and Out burger or um, just good Mexican food. We have a lot of good Mexican food here. So,
Hmm.
um, something like that, I would say, just because I'm always going to Europe, and so like we have a punch. You get tired of that stuff quickly, and so you just crave that good stuff. In and Out burger. Oh,
I
Yeah.
bet.
Sushi for me.
Sushi?
that's a good one. Yeah, good call.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah. In and out, that's always one of our big. So have you had
Yeah,
Whataburger? Have you had Whataburger?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I have. That's a big, yeah,
That's the
big
huge
feud, right?
like the
Yeah.
that's the big feud, whether it's Whataburger or In and Out.
Hmm.
Um, Not being from California, I'm an In and Out person. I think In and Out is
Yeah.
is better. However, there's a caveat to that. I've never had anything other than a double double animal style and animal style fries. I feel like the animal style is really what sets it apart.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you have it the best way that you could possibly possibly have it. So it's good.
Uh, 'Cause I I'll get flack for this. When I have Whataburger, I feel like I'm just having Burger King. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like there's a huge difference between that and Burger King or another or like, well no, Culver's I think is better than Whataburger, but um
Mickey D's or something.
yeah, it's like I feel like Whataburger and Burger King are way more similar than any of the other, or like a Carl's Jr. type thing. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
they're very similar in their um in their presentation, I guess.
Right.
Like what sets In and Out apart is the animal style. No one does that. No one. No one has that. So that's like if you took that away, their fries aren't good, guys. No one likes the fries that much. Like they're
You gotta
not the
eat them fresh
superior.
too. You
Yeah,
gotta eat
yeah.
them hot and fresh too.
Yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
be hot and fresh. That they are not the superior fry, and that's okay. But when you animal style it, that's when it's bomb diggy, you know. Uh,
Right. Right.
and same thing, like their burgers are diner style burgers, so they're pretty awesome either way. However, what sets it apart's the animal style.
Hmm.
It's the original smash burger. There's a huge smash burger craze, and I feel
Hmm.
like they're like the original because they've been around since like what early '90s, I think, and yeah, it's always it's consistent. I will say that.
And
Like
they
you're never
only
gonna get a
have a burger.
bad. Yeah, it's only like one item, like or two items, I guess, burger or fry, burger and fries,
They're
and
fries
a
Hmm.
and
shake. Yeah,
yeah.
so can't mess it up. It's consistent.
Right. It's good. Yeah, it's good stuff. I feel like no one's ever putting Shake Shack into like the mix
Right.
of these things. And if you haven't ever had a Shake Shack
Jack is good, dude.
or Shake Shack or like I actually meant Steak and Shake. Shake Shack's
Mm.
also really good, but Steak and Shake is fucking really good and their burgers are really good. Um
Is that
but
like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich kind of deal with the fries in the cup or something?
no, Steak and Shake is just it's a diner burger joint. It's like
Yeah.
a it's
Okay.
it's I think
It's over in
it's
the
more Midwest.
Midwest. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
Midwest because
okay.
it's like Indiana,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Minnesota,
Missouri. It's not in
Missouri.
Minnesota. No.
Not,
Like
no? I
no.
feel like I've been to one in Indiana, I want to say.
I think there's one in like Iowa is probably the highest it goes, but it's like it's more Midwest. But their shit's really good too.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's more of a diner style burger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they like it's like
sounds good.
the whole theme is like diner. Like it's
Hmm.
it's like a diner. It's a sit down restaurant,
Oh,
Oh
but
yeah.
it
There's a ton in the Midwest, like a
yeah
ton.
yeah
hmm.
Yeah.
that's where it is. That's its place.
Diner like chain for burgers.
All
Cheap as
right,
that at Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel's tight too. That's good shit. I like Cracker Barrel. I've only been to one once, but holy shit. I went with Gibby and he's like, dude, we gotta go to Cracker Barrel. And we bought so much shit. Like, he's like, if you haven't had, we gotta get this, we gotta get it. Like, we got so much food and I was dead. I was so full. And then we had to go drive.
Wow.
That's also like a diner, right? You're getting like
Yeah.
breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
biscuits and the cornbread, man. Ooh.
Yeah. It's really good. You gotta go sit in one of the rocking chairs out front,
Mm.
Mhm.
take a picture in them, maybe buy one.
Yeah,
I think they're
Rainy.
all for sale. Like
Really? Oh.
I'm pretty sure they're there for people to buy.
Trying to keep them in business.
All right. Now's you guys' chance to like pick on each other a little bit. Every band has at least one member with weird food habits on the road. Uh,
Hmm.
who in Sunburnt has the most questionable taste and what's their thing?
Hmm.
Or all
I
you
mean, I
guys
guess,
just super normy?
I mean, no, I
I'm not
mean,
really picky. I'm not really picky with food. Like I'll eat anything really.
yeah.
Maybe Will.
I'm trying to think of Will. Like Will usually likes hmm.
I mean, it's perfect to go after him. He's not here to defend
Yeah, he's
himself.
not here. He's not here.
We'll see the
He's from San Diego though. He has all the good food.
does.
So Mexican food from Sabros.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, no, he's a foodie for sure.
We're all foodies here.
Can't really bag on that guy. He's in Japan right now, probably eating great food.
Yeah. Are any of you guys like let's see. Is there anything like that you have that like you're just like picky about? Like you're like, no, like tomatoes, fuck tomatoes. I ain't doing that.
Hmm.
Or you guys or is it just easy? You guys just really easy. And that's fine too. That's fine. But I don't think I've ever been in a band where something didn't have to be difficult.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
guess if there's
maybe.
only three of you, it's a lot easier. I've always had at
Yeah,
least 4 to 5 to 6.
I'm not a huge fan of like, but I'll eat it still. Like green beans, I guess.
You get green
I mean,
beans on the road a lot?
Green beans.
no, but I mean, I'm not a big green bean guy. But if it was in front of me, I'd be like, I'll probably pass. But trying to think. Yeah,
You
I
don't eat
mean,
your boy.
we're usually eating. Yeah, like Alex and I just got Chick-fil-A. And that was,
Yeah, it was all right.
was all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was actually kind of greasy, to be honest.
Yeah, salty.
Super salty. Um, yeah, it's a tough question.
Yeah, I guess I don't like a lot of salt on my fries. I mean, I love salty things, but not like too much salt on fries. If
Hmm.
that's a thing,
Sure.
shit like that. I don't know, but I'll
But
fucking devour.
you're not getting McDonald's fries and ask them to make you a fresh batch with no salt though.
No,
No,
I'll just,
you're just gonna eat the fries.
but maybe depending on that day, maybe I'll be a Karen that day and say I want fries with no salt. Make sure the
Fries
Yeah.
fries with no salt. Have you ever like I've been behind a person that asked for fries with no salt and I was like, "You motherfucker."
How dare you?
Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, who
Huh.
comes to McDonald's to get fries with no salt on it? Get out of
I
here. Go
mean,
home.
yeah, if you're going there, you're going there probably because you've been drinking, or yeah,
Yeah.
you
Or you
go
need
there
a
on the regs.
or you need a Big Mac. You just need
Yeah,
one. Sometimes you just need one. And
It's
if you're
true.
not from SoCal and don't have the In-N-Out option, sometimes you just need a Big Mac.
Yeah.
All right. We're lucky over here.
Yeah. Yeah, McDonald's not my first option as far as fast food though. I can't as good as those chicken nuggets are and the French fries, dude, and the Coca-Cola from McDonald's.
Yeah, there's something special about a McDonald's Coke.
Yeah.
I'm usually hitting up some Taco Bell or T-Bell late at
Yeah.
night. That's my go-to
So
usually.
that was what I was going to ask you. What's your go-to if In-N-Out was not an option? So T-Bell?
Taco Bell. Yeah.
Yes.
You sure you don't want Del Taco?
I love Del
No.
Taco fries though. Oh man.
Del Taco fries?
Yeah, Del Taco fries, the crinkle cut fries, those are the shit.
That's
Oh,
fucking weird, man.
It's
Fries at a
funny.
taco place.
I know it
And-
is
yeah.
weird.
Except for Taco Bell's nacho fries, those are awesome. But
Those are the
like that's
yeah.
at least nacho fries, just fucking crinkle cut fries. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
crinkle cut fries. I get there's a like a secret menu thing at Del Taco. I don't know if you know, but it's called the bold burrito, or back in the day I used to call it the stoner burrito. But the bold burrito, it's essentially a bean and cheese burrito with those French fries in it with either red or green sauce. It's the best.
Dude, let me tell you something. This isn't a secret menu because there's no such thing. You can just order whatever you want nowadays. But if you order your Taco Bell on the app,
Mm,
Oh,
you can put those nacho fries in fucking anything for 60 cents.
really?
interesting.
Dude,
My
my favorite thing to do is to get the dollar burrito. I mean, prices may vary for place to place, but for
yeah.
us, cheesy bean and rice burrito is $1.
Ooh.
So
Hmm.
on the dollar menu, so for $1.60, you can get that cheesy bean and rice burrito with nacho fries in it.
Ooh. Only through the app though.
Well, because I mean, you can ask for it, I'm sure, but
Okay.
that's
Okay.
weird if you go to you're like drive through like, can I get a cheesy bean and rice
Surprise.
burrito, but can you put nacho fries in it? Yeah, yeah, I said nacho fries. Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna do that next
That's
time.
an
Dude.
expert level
Wow.
Yeah. If you go
order.
to like customize, it's like whole fucking drop down menu of everything you can add.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm putting fries in a crunch wrap.
Dude, yeah. That's a go-to move. That's clutch right there. I think that I've never tried
Um,
that. Dude, I'll bet that would have been awesome with the Cheez It
oh
crunch
man.
wrap when they
Yeah,
did that.
cheese crunch wrap, dude.
The
Yeah.
Cheez It crunch wrap, that was so good.
They got like chicken nuggets right now. I
They
just
do, and they're good.
they are
They're
pretty
I
good.
heard about that. Yeah, my
they're
brother
really
had
good.
those.
They're really
He
good.
said that they're really good. And I went to go get them and they were out.
Uh,
So you know they're good.
they come with
Yeah.
different sauces too. They're
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
Good
super
little
good.
snack.
All right, we're gonna hop on to our last uh food for thought question. This is the staple. If sunburnt was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Oh, geez. Um,
Any form of potato.
However your
yeah,
heart wants to answer.
I guess we're on the topic of French fries. So
Yeah.
we gotta be Del Taco French fries.
Good old
Better
Del
fucking
Taco crinkle cut.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Or a box of mashed potatoes that you get at the grocery store.
Ooh.
I mean, we could go, you could say baked potato because we're sunburnt. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
I like a good
as
baked
Will
potato.
as Will would say, that's too on the nose though.
I like some roasted potatoes, some breakfast potatoes, some hash
Yeah,
brown potatoes. Yeah.
There's so many options. Just
It's
there's a
so
what's
ton. There is a ton.
That's a funny question.
it's the only kind of question I know how to do. Funny
I love that.
questions. Yeah, those are good answers, and there's so many different ways. The first time I was asked that, Gibby came up with that question, and first thing that popped in my head was couch potato. That's how I would be a couch potato.
Nice.
Okay.
I've never
Thinking
had
outside.
anyone else say couch potato yet, but that was the first thing that popped into my head. But that's I love that question because everybody asks like, well, what like a russet potato? What do you mean? Like, what, however your heart wants to take it.
Hash browns.
Potato chip.
Potato chip. All right, that's it for food for thought. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just gonna speak from the heart, gonna shoot from the hip. Where the first thing that pops into your head, even if it's not one of the two options I present to you, you speak your truth.
Okay.
All right. Liquid Death or LaCroix?
Oh, liquid death.
Ooh, liquid death.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Have you tried the new like Liquid Death soda?
No. Is it good?
I mean, define good, I guess.
Yeah, they have
It's
like a cola,
fine.
right? Like a,
Yeah, what do you compare it to? What is
I
it?
so it's okay, it's still Liquid Death. It's sparkling water,
Hmm.
hmm
but with the essence of soda.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's like the cola one was fine. It's just really it's like if you go to like a restaurant and you mostly get the carbonation.
Oh,
So it's
gotcha.
Yeah, that's kind of like I mean, I guess LaCroix is like that too. It's just the essence of like
yeah.
lime or peach or whatever it might be.
So it's still
Um,
like the root beer is okay. It still tastes like root beer a little bit, you
hmm
know. It's still like Liquid Death has more flavor than most, I feel like. And like so the root beer, the
hmm
cola, they're good. I haven't
Yeah,
tried the Dr. Pepper, but I don't want to try
Mm.
yeah.
that.
Go for the
Not
real thing.
yeah, yeah. Spotify or Apple Music?
Mhm.
I'm Spotify, big
I'm,
time.
I'm an Apple Music guy.
Nice. South
Yep.
Park or Family Guy?
Oh, man,
Oh,
hard. Damn.
um, I think probably Family Guy. I feel like I watched that more.
I have
I
watched
watched
Family
it.
Guy a lot more, but South Park is, yeah, South Park is the OG.
Yeah, and
hmm
it's genius.
Yeah.
Like they're geniuses.
Yeah.
hmm
Matt and Trace, man, dude.
Yeah. After this hour and a half of conversating, this one's gonna be really easy, I feel like. This is a no brainer here. MySpace or TikTok?
MySpace.
My,
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're gonna throw do another throwback here. Back to back
Okay.
throwbacks. Drive-through records or
Mm.
fueled by ramen.
oh,
Um, I guess it depends. Well, drive-throughs no longer, but fuel's still here. Um,
But
I'm gonna have
it ain't the fueled of old though.
I'm gonna
uh,
have to say fueled by ramen because drive-through records was owned by that creepy dude.
damn. I was gonna
Creepy.
say drive-through, but I'm gonna say
I know nothing about a creepy dude, so
drive-through. They had really good bands in that on
They
that run.
did.
so
I'm gonna
many
say
good
fueled
bands.
by ramen.
Yeah. Fueled by Ramen also had good bands. Was that, Fall Out Boy, that's what they're first on, right?
Yeah, that's why I gotta go with them.
FOB.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Beanies or snapbacks?
What's
Snapback.
yeah,
I mean, I figured that as well since you're both wearing some snapbacks. Darth Vader or Voldemort?
Darth Vader.
Ooh.
No hesitation.
Well, I'm a big Harry Potter guy, so I gotta go Voldemort.
All right.
You were Harry Potter for like 20 years for
Mm-hmm.
Halloween.
It's easy. It's easy you want to do. Just draw it right here.
Yeah. All right, this is the last one. Good Charlotte or Simple Plan?
Mm.
Good Charlotte.
Yeah, good Charlotte. I think that they carved the lane a little bit more for us,
Yeah.
I would
And
say.
I mean
But
they
both did. Both did. So I can't really
Plan is still
but
really
like they both are awesome. They
Hmm.
both had an awesome career, but their forms of pop punk, went two different lanes.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Simple Plan was more poppy. They were definitely more like almost like, dare I say, like Disney. They did the Scooby Doo cartoon theme,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like when i the second album, especially when I think of Good Charlotte, I don't think we would have had bands playing acoustically in Hot Topics if it wasn't for that record.
Right.
Like they were Hot Topic.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They
I
definitely
think,
carved that path.
right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting at, just because I mean, when you think of Good Charlotte, yeah, you obviously think of pop punk. And I think
Hmm.
that's like right there, that says that. I mean, Fall Out Boy, Blink, Good Charlotte.
Hmm.
I think that's like pop punk right there. And then like if you think emo, it's like Hawthorne Heights, My Chem, those type of bands.
Hmm.
Um, Taking Back Sunday, even.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think they definitely carved the path for a lot of these bands that are here nowadays, with pop punk. And yeah, definitely Good Charlotte.
Nice. I agree. I love them both, but Good Charlotte, I remember having I had like I record like I'd recorded the first two albums on a cassette tape.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was my way of doing stuff too. The
Wow.
cassette tape from the CD to the cassette
yeah.
tape. That, man,
Just hit
what a
hit
lost
the
form
fucking
on earth.
record.
Wow.
Man, those were fun days.
That's old
Well,
school.
the car I had at the time, clearly we had CD players. I
But you
wanted
didn't have
not,
one.
but that car was so old that it didn't have one. So I, either did the record onto a cassette, um
Hmm.
you had that cassette thing that like plugged in
Yeah.
to like to a CD player, or the radio one.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, I had that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when you put it into it and then you had to go to a certain channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I had that. Damn,
I
that brings back some memories.
To the
uh,
lighter part. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
No
I
one,
oh,
I mean, those TikTok bands, they don't know
they
anything
don't
about the
know.
struggles of playing Taking Back Sunday in your car when you're going to high school.
Yeah, or or like just driving down the highway and
Yeah.
then having to switch up the radio
You're
station
like,
because
shit,
you got
that's
too
getting
far
fuzzy.
away.
Getting fuzzy. Shit.
Oh man, good
Fuck.
times.
Damn, I forgot that was such a struggle. Yeah, because you'd be like, you can't just Bluetooth it. Yeah, that was like you had to put in through your lighter or the cassette tape. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, I
I went
totally
through
forgot about
so
that.
many of those things that I don't know how many of those things I bought.
Oh
Wow.
yeah,
Wear and tear for after a while.
yeah. Just
Hmm.
plug it into your iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I remember when they
Damn.
had that.
They don't. They'll
Insane.
never know. They'll never know the iPod struggles of having 15 of the same artist with different, different ways of writing it.
Yeah.
You got capital H hidden in plain view. You got capital H hidden, capital I in,
Oh,
Hmm.
lowercase plain view. Yeah.
wow.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, that's it, guys. You did it. You finished the podcast. Now's your chance. Let's give us a little quick recap. What you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next for y'all.
Yeah, we just came out with our latest single. It's called Promise. It's streaming everywhere. We're going to be promoting that and plugging that as much as we can. We're stoked on it. We have a few shows lined up. Best place to find us is probably Instagram. So feel free to follow us. We are Sunburnt on all social media. Um, and yeah, we're stoked to, if you're in the SoCal area, please come out to a show. We'd love to meet you and say hi. And we're stoked to release more music in the future. Anything
Hell
to add
yeah.
there, Alex?
No, I think you said it best.
Cool, man.
Said it
Yeah.
perfectly. You did it. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. It was an awesome time. Love chatting about music, food.
Thanks for having us, Patrick. Appreciate it, man. This has been fun. It's
Hell
fun
yeah.
to do these.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, guys, it's been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'll see y'all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.